Okay, welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Yesterday we got our inventory system rendering our character loadout here, so now we can activate a different tunic for our character to wear, or a different element for them to hold, and then it carries over into the play state, and also it works for items like a lute. We don't have any more than one spell being equipped, so like right here our spell casting is the same blue spell for every single element. Ay. Hey Prosto, welcome in. Sorry for the stream crash. Oh no. Dude, that bugs me. It was like, we should be okay. Let's hope no more issues. Shoot. Okay. Well, it says we're streaming. So today, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be working on. I know we do have to get some better testing for our lute. So like if we toggle our lute, we have 1 and 2 frets for our A and B buttons. So we can play like, we can play up the scale 3 notes. And that's working on keyboard, but it is not working on, oh, come on, dude. Like what I hate is like if we crash, then when we boot up, it thinks there's like another ad break because it thinks we just started stream. So yeah, I'm torn. Like I thought Twitch didn't put ads if you didn't say to put ads, which I had not. But then I heard that ads just get put on there anyway, and you just get more control over them if you turn them on. So I'm not exactly sure that's the case. I hear, different things online about it, but I thought it'd be better to run the 3-minute ads at the top of the stream so that people don't get the pre-roll ads when they join. But it looks like if we crash, it kind of negates that, I guess. So that's kind of sad. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I want to work on today. I know we do need to fix the frets on the touch detection. I don't have my laptop set up for the mobile deployment though, so I can't really do that today. We could maybe theorize about different spells, because now that we've got spell switching in there, maybe now's a good time to potentially add other spell casting. That or the dialogue system, right? So those are the next couple big things. Is like we need to be able to walk into a cabin and have it switch locations for us. That's a big one. So like some system for loading an alternate map, so that we can come in here and like walk into this cave and have it actually take us somewhere. And then what else do we need? Other spellcasting would be nice. We need some unique sprites for drawing different maps, because right now we only have very, very few sprites. I'm trying to think of what would give us a big return on investment for our time. The dialogue system is a big one, because we need that so that we can plop NPCs around town. We've got the signpost reading fine, but we don't have multiple line dialogue stuff. I think a good one to focus on soon is to teleport us to another map instead of the overworld here. That'll be big. And the dialogue systems can be big so that we can talk to people. And then, yeah, once Lute is working on mobile for the frets, yeah, we'll need to do that too. So let's go to our notes and just say, yeah, we do need this. Render string colors, we did that. Oh, no, we did not do that. Yeah, maybe we can do that. I kind of want to, if we look at when we strum our lute here. Yeah, we're not rendering the colors. We're not rendering the colors. So we need to say render the color of the string white if it's not in the animated phase, and if it is animating, then render it to be that cyan color. So let's see if we can add that. So look, right here we do have set white, but we could do this get current frame, and if the current frame is not equal to 1, then we would set our color to blue. So maybe we can say that right here. We can say if the current frame does not equal 1, then we want to set our color to cyan. Else we can go ahead and set it white. Let's see. We need to run this function. Okay. Oh, that's the opposite. If it's not equal to 1, cyan. I thought that the stable string was the first frame, but I could be mistaken. If the current frame does not equal 2, yeah, I don't know, this one should work. Yeah, if our frame is 1, set it to white. Let's see. Yeah, we should. If we open up our lute string and take a look at it, string. Yeah, it looks like our frame 1 is our unplucked string. I mean, let's just try to swap these. I would think that if the current frame does not equal 1, yeah, this is... like, this doesn't make any sense to me that we would swap it. I don't know why that seems to be working. It seems to be working though. You know, I want it like a range. I want it like a range so it stays lit longer. So maybe we can say if frame is smaller than... This is totally wrong. This is totally wrong, but I'm trying to see why it's wrong. Because we're trying to say, what we are trying to say is, hey, if our current frame is greater than 1, then we'd want to set it to cyan and then otherwise set it to white. Why does that set it to cyan, man? What is the current frame? I'm just gonna print up what the current frame is, just so I can test my assumptions here, because something's wrong and I don't see what it is. So we're gonna print up the frame right here as the get current frame. We probably have to convert it to a string, so we'll run to string on it, and then we give it an X and Y right here. Just want to see what's going on with that. Seven. Okay, so 7 is the default frame. Okay, so if the string is smaller than okay, first we want to say, okay, if we're on frame 7, give us white, else give us cyan. So any frame that isn't the stable string should be cyan. Nice. That looks right now. I'm gonna play it with 6 and see how I like that. Can we do this where we can say 7 or 6? Okay. I think 7 is fine. Okay. Okay, so that looks to be working. Now that's based on the frame render, so that should work on our mobile deployment as well. One thing there is, like, I would like that when we switch over to Lute mode here, so like if we go equip our Lute, then I press B, which is where the Lute's equipped. It thinks we're holding fret 1, which we're technically holding fret 1 because it's because O is pressed. But I'm kind of thinking it would be nice to flush that. Because it just bugs me that the fret pops up as soon as you put on the Lute because you're holding the fret button. So let me check at how we're rendering the fret button and see if we can add in a little check to make sure we release the button first. I guess that would be in our fret class. Or our Lute class. We were just in our Lute, right? Lute string. We don't have a fret class. Okay, so how are we rendering the frets? We're rendering it in the note class. We gave every note. Oh, okay, this is different. This isn't the... Oh, okay, so this is... We used to have 4 different frets. Wow, why did we have 5 frets? Oh, fret 5 was open. Okay, so now we should only have 3. We should have an open fret, a fret 1, a fret 2. Because we no longer have the 4 buttons. So I think we can get rid of a lot of these. I'll keep them for now. Because I might want to switch up which fret is fret 1 and 2. We might go with... I don't know what we'll go with. Because part of the tablature you find once you clear an area, it'll have these little symbols on there that are like the sheet music for you to play. So I want to make sure the sheet music and the symbols are recognizable and easy to kind of follow. So I don't know if I want fret 1 and 2 as frets 1 and 2. So we'll keep the other frets for now. But we have to find where we're holding. Where are we doing the fret render for? Right here. Oh, frets held. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do right here. Okay, this is tricky. So this is in our play state. We need to move this stuff. We'll need to move this into like a Lute class or something, because I don't like that it's bogging down our play state. It really should... This should be in a if Lute state, right? Yeah. See, we should get a Lute class in here and only update it if Lute class is true, or whatever we want to call that. I think for right now, how would we fix this? This is only on the B button. So it's like we need... Once we need to move this into a Lute class. We really do. Maybe we'll just do that and bite the bullet and just do it. Because this, yeah, let's see where our Lute state goes. It goes from here down to right there. If Lute state. This should all be in Lute state, I feel like, too. And this should be, too. Lute state, Lute state, Lute state. Oh, God. Yeah, see all this stuff. Starting to feel the tech debt of not wanting to refactor some stuff, but we'll have to do it. Let's just go ahead and do it. We'll have to do it. So it looks like we're refreshing these Lute strings. So let's see where we import these Lute strings. As local variables. Okay, we should be able to move a bunch of this stuff into a Lute class. So the idea is we'll make a Lute state class. I guess Lute state isn't the right way to think about it. I mean, I have it named Lute state, but it should be called... Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm fine calling it Lute state. If we make a class called Lute state, we can give all of these variables in here initialized in there. We have to find where we toggle Lute state, which we can find by just searching for Lute state, you know? So we toggle Lute state where? Lute state's false, if not Lute state true. Okay, so we would keep this here so that we can toggle our Lute state, but I guess we can keep the word Lute state as a trigger, but if we move all the logic into a Lute class, then we only update that class if Lute state is true. Or we could... Because, yeah, like, if Lute state is true, we would want to go ahead and update the Lute. And the Lute class would hold all the notes, all the strings, all of the Lute stuff. And then we can keep the Lute state toggle here, but we use the boolean here to toggle whether or not we're well, yeah. Yeah, any logic that we're doing based on the Lute state. Not really this. Not anything that has to do with the Lute state boolean, but anything that has to do with the condition of Lute state, we can move into our Lute class. So let's try to do that. Let's see. We should be... Actually, yeah. I might want to commit before we do this. It looks like all we've done so far is take out some old code and then add our string render. So we can commit here. Let's say, oh, come on. We'll say that we change Lute string color based on plucking. And then we want to do this Lute class now. So we'll come out here into our source, which this is the folder. We want to make a new file called Lute. We will say Lute gets inherited class, and then we will say that our Lute needs an init and an update render. And then we need to import it. So right here, we'll just make sure we import our Lute here. Okay, so if we go back to our play state and we look for any logic directly tied to the Lute state, Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, this... Okay, so look, yeah, this is all loot state stuff. And then we go ahead and do more loot state stuff. Yeah, we can combine this stuff. Our frets held. This is what we need to fix when we have touch. And then look, another loot state. Oh my goodness. Dude, this is like 500 lines of code. Okay, so this is out of loot state. And this is updating the loot strings, which I guess should only happen in the loot state anyway. So we'll delete all that. 318. Yo. 318 lines. Clogging up our play state with loot logic. So we'll go to our loot. I'm just going to plop all of that in there. So where we just were in our old... Uh-oh. What? Let's go to our play state. I just saw stuff we had deleted. Maybe not. This is in our render? Okay, yeah, this is in our render. Okay, so what I should have done is before we deleted where our loot state was. Let's see. Okay. So right here, I can just delete everything inside it. Keep the boolean because we still need to decide when we update our class. So we can say we delete everything that we just copied over, which went all the way down here. So right here we can say if loot state, then we want to update our loot class with delta time here if we're in loot state. So we'll need to get an instantiation of a loot for our class. Hey, what's up, Magnetonics? How's it going, dude? And then the rest of our loot state we can continue to copy over in the same manner, where we can say here's all the rendering for the loot stuff. So if loot state, then we want to render our loot instance, and then we want to copy into our render. Oh shit. I just undid our loot copy from the update, so that's no good. Okay. Okay, so this is that line here, look. I'll leave us a loot update comment right there. We'll try this again. Okay, right there. Delete all that. Pull this into the update function for our loot. Okay. We've got our render function there. Okay. So there's our update and render. So now we need to pull over. Let's see if there's any other loot state stuff we need to pull over. We are doing this stuff. Okay, yeah, we got quite a bit. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we need to pull over this loot state render. And this loot state render. I don't know why they're split up. Anywhere else? The toggle can stay. Hey, sounds good, dude. Hey, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Hope you've been doing well. Okay, all this toggle stuff is fine. What is this? Okay. Okay, this is so messy. We need almost all this to go, though. So what we'll do is we'll call this... We'll just... Oh my goodness. Okay, right here. We need a render loot here. Let's pull out all the loot logic for render. See, what the hell is this? The string render? This is so messy. We'll have to... Really messy, but we've been needing to clean this up. This was like 350 lines bogging down our play state, so this is totally necessary, and it's something I've been putting off. So here we can say we basically turn that 300 lines plus 100 of render lines into if loot state, then go ahead and render our loot. So we'll condense it into that as long as we have loot update. Loot. We need it still. Dude, where did it go? I swore we left ourselves a little note here. There. Okay. We'll say if loot state, then we want to take our loot class and go ahead and update it with delta time. Okay, so though that like 400 lines turns into 6 lines in our play state now, if we can pull this off. But it'll be a little more than that too, because we have to take any local variable in here and pull it into our init. So okay, so there is one issue I'm thinking of. We might need a couple of things outside of the init, some local variables, because anytime we, well, I don't know, let's give it a shot. So like, we have to pull out these loot strings, loot string A1, all those loot strings we need to pull out from our play state. And maybe what I'll do is split the screen here so that we can swap between the two, and we'll put our play state on the right here, and we want to find stuff like the, what is it? The strings, loot, what is it called? String. Oh no. We missed an end in here somewhere. Okay, that might have been it. These loot strings. Okay. I think these pressed as well. Let's see. Pressed. Yeah. And then also frets held, right? Yes. Also song 1? Yes. And then also bass notes? Maybe not. I don't think we're using bass notes at the moment, so we might be okay. What about valid timing? No. Okay, where are we using valid timing here? We're doing it in the valid note checker, which takes our active notes. Okay. Oh no, active notes. All of this should be in Lute class also. Yeah, active notes. Where's that? Local active notes. Local active notes. Okay. Yeah, where are we actually checking this valid note checker? We aren't using it here? Where are we using it? Oh, in our Lute class. Okay, yeah, perfect. So we moved it out. Okay, so we need our valid note checker function outside of our update. And then we'll also need all of the initialized variables. So we'll put... You're kidding me. Okay. What? I'm using... Okay. That is not right. For some reason, I can't copy and paste between two Tmux tabs. So if I yank this, swap, paste, it gives me Y. Why? I don't know. Oh no. Yank? Paste. Yeah. Swap? No paste. Okay. Whatever. I'll just do it. I'll have to figure that out. We'll do it here where we delete it here, and then we'll go to our Lute. And we'll just make sure we plop it in there. Okay. Okay, so basically all this stuff, valid timing, Lute state stays actually. But we'll need this through this. I believe song timer is in there also. Yep. Okay. Okay. Now the thing is, this was outside the init. This is outside of the init. I don't know if that matters. The thing is, we shouldn't be initializing Lute more than once, except... Yeah. So the issue here is like if we pull up our inventory, we're in pause state, and then we come back to our play state, the loot will become reinitialized, and then all the init values will be updated in there. So maybe we do have I don't know. I feel like it's probably the same outcome is it's just resetting all the init values to the default stuff. So okay, we do need to initialize a loot. So we'll say loot gets loot class right here, because remember we're doing the loot update and everything. But yo, did I undo this? I swear we deleted this. Okay. We need valid timing too. We have valid timing. Okay. Okay. We've got a loot class. We'll keep it here in the init and just see if it works. We shouldn't need to do anything different. It's just that we don't want to do anything with loot state here, because this is only being updated if it's loot state. So we need to find like the corresponding ends and just delete them here. Okay. And then maybe clean up the order of some of this stuff, just because I can't even wrap my head around what the hell is going on. So this loot state, we need to find the end right here. I have zero faith that this is going to run the first time we try it. Man, what a mess, dude. What a mess. Oh, where are we missing an end? Come on. We probably have too many in there somewhere. What the flip? Looks right to me. We're missing an end, or we have too many ends. Oh. Okay. We need to take the loot string. Oh my god. Here, we need to take this out, which means this end can go. A bunch of this can go. And this can go. Okay, let's do a mass reformat. And hopefully that makes it look... Yeah, dude, yeah, this is like almost 500 lines of code that was clogging up our play state. There are some empty lines and such, but still. This is insane. Yeah, you know what? I feel like we don't need these anymore. Let's see though. We'll have to see if we even just compile or crash, and then we can tidy it up from there. But as far as what we're doing, it's pretty much the same thing, except instead of doing all of this stuff if Lute state, we're only going to update this stuff if it's Lute state in the play state. So we kind of just take out all the Lute stuff, put it in this class, and we still have the Lute state toggles. Yeah, we still have these Lute state toggles, but now we're toggling either updating or rendering it instead of just doing it in our play state, clogging it up. So, let's see if we crash. I bet 98% chance we crash. All right, index global Lute string F2 a nil value. Let's see. Lute string 2. Lute string... Oh. Lute string is a class that needs to be required. So we need to require Lute after our Lute string, note, and bass notes. So we'll, because we reference those things. So we need to go to our dependencies here and say Lute gets after our Lute string, our bass notes, and note. Let's try to put it down there. Let's see. Lute string F2 a nil value. Lute string, which is defined before Lute, a nil value. Maybe we need it before, well, let's look at our Lute. Lute string, note, and bass notes. Lute string, note, and bass notes. Lute string, note, and bass notes all before Lute. So why are we crashing? Yeah, Lute string F2 a nil value. What line exactly did that crash? 357. Lute string F2. Oh, Lute string F2. Lute string F2. Okay, so I think these might need to be defined outside the init. You know, I think all of these do. That's how they were in the old method, which means we aren't using our init. I don't know. Let's see. Lute 447. That's a different crash. We need to just make that global. We need to make, I think we did make it global. Let's see if we have, oh my goodness, let's see if we have I thought we had an inspect with a capital I global. Yeah, we do. So we should be able to just call uppercase inspect and have it work. Okay, we're not strumming any notes or any frets, but we don't crash. So oh, look at this. Oh, we update all the strings with delta time here. So what's wrong? Oh my god. Are we updating Lute with delta time in our play state? Yeah. We say Lute update delta time. Okay. We have more Lute logic hiding around somewhere, because this is not all of the, we don't have any of the playing the sounds. We should have a play the sounds. For our Lute. I don't see this anywhere. I don't see our Lute playing sounds anywhere, but we're also not seeing any strings rendering. Okay. What just happened? I just accidentally deleted like that whole body of code. Okay. How did that happen? Okay, let's try it. Yeah. Do we not have... What the heck? So this is all the touch detection. But we need the was pressed. Okay, if those... Yeah, we need the WASD. Okay. Okay. So if frets held is 0, We'll play the sound. So if W is pressed, we should play any amount of sound. either one of these 3 notes. I'm thinking it might have to do with this update, but I am not sure. Because we're not even rendering the strings, which is bothersome to me. We should be rendering these. Oh, no, we are rendering the strings. We're just not playing anything, huh? Okay, so we do see the strings. It's just that we don't get the frets, we don't get the notes, we don't get anything scrolling. There's so much we touched, like I don't even know where to begin. Where to fix this, man. I don't know why I feel like it's this part that's messed up. Maybe we should try to update. No, I think we're on the right track where we only update if it's lute state. I mean, I guess. Do we have any other lute state in here? We shouldn't, yeah. And then in our play state, is anything with lute state incorrect here? Okay, we should be able to toggle lute state back off with H. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're not getting our frets held or our strings. I don't think any of this stuff is busted. Let's make sure when we update this lute, what lute is that? Yeah. Just a global lute of lute type. Okay. If lute state, then update lute. I'm kind of curious, like if we just say, let's just update lute and see what happens. Because we don't even see the notes scrolling across screen. We're not getting any of our touch detection, or our keyboard detection, or our notes scrolling. Yeah, as far as I can tell, we're not doing anything different than we used to be. Maybe the lute... it shouldn't matter. We shouldn't need it in the init. Yeah. It's gotta be something wrong here. So it's like we're rendering the lute because we can see the strings. So like if we go into our lute class and just say, you know what? you know, these strings we're rendering. If we take off the string that we're rendering, we shouldn't see any. Okay, why does it still show? Oh, because we're rendering the strings here. Okay, so if we take out lute string F1, there should be only 3 strings. Okay. There's like a double. Why is there a string beneath it? Hey, what's up, K-Tronics? How's it going? Dude, I'm stumped. we tried to take our lute logic out of the play state because it was like 400 lines worth. And we broke everything in the process, so that's where I'm at. Yeah, we're missing some update for this. Oh no, this is just touches. So we don't have this F2 pressed. See, this is wrong anyway. We don't care about this anymore. We just want to render all the strings. See, why does it... Oh, we got it twice. Yeah, we got these twice. But that's still, you know, it should play music at the very least, and it's not. Yeah, K-Tronics, we broke everything. I did commit right before we did it, but it's pretty bad. Okay, I think we need to keep the second one and ditch the first one for this. Like, I don't get why nothing's working. Like, we can't render a string being pressed, we don't detect a fret being held, and we don't play any sound for it. So it's like messed up on so many levels. We're playing a sound for touches here, and then we're playing a sound for... Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, we have 48 instances of play. There we go. Okay, so if valid note checker, well... Yeah, okay, so look, if we were to just take F1 and say, okay, if keyboard pressed is D, let's just try to play F1. Let's see if any sound comes out. Nothing. So that tells me that we're not updating our lute class at all. But we are passing in delta time. Yeah, let's make sure we're running. Yeah, we're passing in delta time up here. And then in our play state, we're saying lute update. So if I say Lute updates outside of Lute state just to see, we still don't play any sounds. Okay. So what do we need to do? I don't see anything wrong. I don't know. I thought it was straightforward. You know, all we did was take out the Lute state logic, plop it into a class, and only update it if we were in a Lute state. So I guess let's print up what our Lute state is. Well, we know that's working. We know the toggle's working because we can toggle in and out of our Lute state. It's just that anything that needs to be updated in our Lute state is just not working because we're able to toggle that on and off. So we know, yeah, and then the fact that we're turning around means that we are toggling our Lute state. It's just that our Lute state is not updating over time. So like if we were to go into our Lute state and say, you know what, the last thing we're going to do is the love.graphics print. We're going to say hello at an x of moving, which is a local variable we'll make, y of 0, and then we say moving starts at 0, and then in our update, moving gets moving plus delta time. Then we should see moving text moving. Yo, thanks, K-Tronics. Yeah, see, we're not moving. So that tells me update isn't working. Our delta time is not changing. We're not updating our Lute, even though in our play state we are passing into the Lute an update if Lute state. Okay. Are we sure? Yeah, we're play state's updating. We know that. Lute state update. We know Lute state's getting toggled. Oh, but yeah, because Lute state isn't an actual state like our inventory system is. So we stay in play state until we hit the B button with our Lute equipped, and then we should be in Lute state. But even so, let's say we render Lute state outside of Lute, as well as update outside of Lute. Let's go find our Lute render and just say that we also just render it regardless of Lute state, and let's just see if we see hello moving. We don't. So what is going on? Did we do our class correctly? Lute gets class. Okay. I feel like we might be screwing something up with the init, but also let's say that the init gets moving here. But the init happens right here at the very beginning. It shouldn't matter. It happens in play state right at the top here. We say Lute gets Lute class. It shouldn't matter that we have a... Yeah, all our other classes are the same way. where we just assign a variable into it. If we look at our inventory class, it should say inventory gets class, just like our loot is gets class curly brace. Yeah. So for some reason our loot class is just not updating over time. Let's take a look at our loot class again. Okay, we have a valid note checker. We're updating with delta time here. Yeah, update. Loot update. Okay, what is going on? Yeah, we definitely update with delta time. Definitely. Man, they're after us. Likely ban evader restricted. What the heck? Okay. All I know is our loot class is just not updating over time. Regardless of us passing it in the play state. What am I missing here? Where is this block inside of? In our touches? Oh no. Okay, let's let's try that. Let's see. Why was that the case? Okay, touch a nil value. Touch detection, index touch a nil value. Touch detection, touch a nil value. Why did we crash when we take it out? Touch detection 18, local touch. Why? Yo, what did we change? All we should change is say that goes here, that's it, shouldn't crash. What? This is still in our... No, it isn't. Still in our... Is that really the only difference? We don't crash if we have it in there? What the heck? What the heck? Why is it if we take that out, we crash all of a sudden? We don't. But we still render. So let's just say... What the heck? Why can't this work? Why would putting that there crash our touch detection? Oh, this is driving me nuts. Why would that matter? Okay, what is going on? Right here, we're checking in our touch collision. Now, if we just delete this loot state update out of our touch collision, we don't crash. And we render our loot that doesn't update over time. Okay. So why is it that when we try to add our Lute render, let's just say we update our Lute no matter what. Does it crash there? Yeah, why? Is this still in a touches? No. So why can't we, like if we have Lute update here, why is it crashing there? What in a Lute update is causing our touches to crash? It's fine if we comment it out. So there's something in our Lute. Something in our Lute state that is not playing nicely with touches. So let's just see what that might be. We have... It's colliding. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so this, we just need to cycle through our touches. How did we miss this? We missed a for loop for touches in our Lute class somehow. So what I'm gonna do is put our Lute update back and say if Lute state, we're gonna take our Lute class and update it with delta time, and then we have to fix our Lute class from crashing here. Lute. Let's see here. Okay. So any of this touches stuff, touches at index K, we need to say for key V in pairs touches, do all of this touch, which is quite a bit. Okay. Okay. Where are we? That looks way wrong. Okay. Do we have any other touches that needs to be in a for loop here? Okay, let's see. We're missing an end. The best viewers really are here. Oh, okay. Yes. Look at our little hello moving too. Okay, we did it. Okay. So ideally we didn't fix the thing I wanted to fix first, but we took almost 400 lines out of our play state and migrated it over into a Lute class. So now there's only 6 lines of Lute render update stuff, as opposed to 400, clogging up the play state. So all the Lute stuff is now sequestered off into its own class, which is really helpful. I'm gonna take out this hello that slowly renders, and then we'll just call it a night. That was something that was on the list to do for quite some time, so it needed to get done. I'm glad we got it done. It was a headache and a half, but at least all of our Lute stuff is now in one little file here, so that's gonna be nice. That's nice. Yeah, we don't need our init because we don't do anything with it. Okay, so as long as our notes says something about fix frets for touch, and I want to say like hold off on initial render. Hold off fret render on Lute state swap because the B button is the button to switch to Lute state, and the B button once in Lute state is also triggering the frets held. So I just want to make sure you have to let go of the button to toggle you into the Lute state before the frets held on button B will trigger the little animation for you to hold down the fret. So that's like a little nuance thing in there that I want to fix. And then I think we can commit, and we'll say that we migrated Lute logic into its own class and nearly died trying. All right. So tomorrow depends on if I want to do laptop stuff and we can test. Tomorrow I'm thinking we'll fix that initial fret hold render bug, and then we'll hopefully start to test our frets released on our touch released callback function. Think about how we might implement a method to capture releases, touch releases, because right now we don't have that baked into any certain fret presses, so it gets a little confusing there, but I think we can figure it out. Let's see here. Let's raid out here to Finn. Our pal Finn is a super nice game dev. But thanks for hanging, K-Tron. Appreciate it, dude. Catch you later. Hope you have a good night.